Hello, people. It's another beautiful day. So, we're just going to continue our conversation on why a woman should walk away from an abusive relationship. I know we've talked about several reasons: emotional or financial dependency, we've talked about fear, we've talked about low self esteem or self worth. We've talked about how, you can begin to normalize the abuse and think, yeah, that is how I deserve to be treated. We've talked about a hope for change. That's one of the major religious reasons why women stay in abusive relationship. Today we're going to be concluding it because I just want to quickly summarize the other three, which is love and attachment, and social stigma and isolation, and also cultural or religious beliefs. So today we're going to be talking about love and attachment, how you can get so attached to this person, especially if you have a history of where you're coming from, a family that is not very loving. You felt like you've been abused from your biological family, and so you're coming into this relationship and you're trying to say to yourself like, this partner is going to save me, and so you get so attached to them, and invariably, what you expect is not what you're getting. Now, being able to face that reality to say, I need to save myself, becomes a challenge because you've kind of been so attached to this person. Or even sometimes where maybe you're coming from a family where your father is saying, no, I don't want you to marry this person. And then you got so stubborn, headstrong, like, this is the love of my life. This is the person I'm in love with. And so, your family says, you know what? Since you've chosen this path, we're going to ostracize you, And so now you are in this relationship, hoping that, oh, I gave up everything I have to come and be with this person. And so there is no reason why this one should abuse me or maltreat me or disrespect me. But then what you expected is not what you're getting. If that's the case, sweetheart, you need to take a walk. The next one is social stigma. When people think like, oh, I'm going to, what is everybody going to say when I leave? My friends are going to despise me. My friends are going to leave me. Then I'll be all alone. Then, all of those, what are people going to say? What are people going to feel? Hello. How are you feeling right now? How are you feeling in this relationship? How are you feeling in this moment? That is what matters. Self-care. Not what the social stigma, how they are going to stigmatize you like, oh, she's been divorced twice, she's been divorced thrice, she's been divorced. I was in a ladies' night one evening. It was a beautiful one. And everyone that sat there was like, oh, in my third divorce, the guy did this and that. In my fourth marriage, and in my fifth marriage. And I'm looking at it like, oh, wow, yeah. Own your truth. Own your truth. Don't think because of what people are going to say or what people are going to feel. Hello. By the time you're 6 feet below, nobody is talking anything. Everybody's just talking trash and just moving on. Life goes on. Life goes on. So, you want to kill yourself because you want to stay in an abusive marriage? Nah, not worth it. Not worth it. The last one will be cultural or religious beliefs. Where, the culture says, oh, it's for better, for worse. So in the name of for better, for worse, whether he's killing me, I'm going to be there. Whether he wants me dead the next minute, I'm going to be there. The Calgary police is investigating right now the story of a woman who the body was found. Yeah, because the partner, he had threatened her several times. And instead of leaving, she kept believing that yeah, he's going to change, he's going to love her, If he couldn't find the love, or if he's lost the love, how do you think he's going to find it though? I don't get that part. Honestly. Like, someone obviously has been disrespecting me, has zero value for my presence or my person, treats me like I don't exist, and then suddenly everyone says, oh, he has changed. Yeah, he has changed, he's changed. Therefore, I should just expect to see that change. Okay. In my own words, that's what I'll describe as waiting for a miracle that will never happen. Yeah? And like I always say to people, Jesus has died. I don't have to crucify him a second time. Yeah. So I really do not have the patience to tolerate any form of disrespect or abuse. Hear me. I may not say a word when you are acting stupid. I may not say anything. But that does not validate your behavior. Hey, it does not validate your stupidity or your foolishness. It does not. So get that straight. Yes, let me just put that out there. Because what happens is, I say to myself, whether cultural, whether religious, whether whatever, I am an individual. Yeah? You see, all those cultures and all those religious beliefs and everything were written by people, individuals. Why am I here? I am here to create my own history. Paul said, I am a living epistle to be read after by men. Translate, I am here to create my own history to be read and watched by men. Hello. So, whatever the culture or the religion is, it's a guide. I have the privilege of, living in Nigeria and as well as living in Canada. And I always say to my children, when you are in these countries, you pick the best and leave the rest. Yeah. You don't say, oh, because we're here now, therefore, I'm just going to dump my culture. No. Just like when I'm in Nigeria, there's certain things they do there, and I'm like, no, I'm not tolerating that. No. And I walk away from it. That is how I have lived my life. And that is what I'm encouraging every woman to do today. If you are in an abusive relationship, sweetheart, if you're in an abusive relationship, all the signs are there. You see all the red flags every day. It doesn't matter if it's 1 week or 2 weeks or 1 month or 2 months or 2 years. It doesn't matter. That's irrelevant. The rest of your life before you is what you look ahead. And if what you have ahead is more than what you have now, sweetheart, take an exit. Look for the exit and take it immediately. If it's something that you figure it's a bit dangerous, okay? Because the next topic I want to talk about will be narcissistic, living with a narcissist. Now, that's a different topic, but before we get there, just a heads up. If you find that your relationship that you're in is with a narcissist, you will need to plot your exits. You need to plot your exit graph. You don't just like you didn't just come into it, so you can't just go out of it, So you need to plot that exit graph. Yeah. But just know that, you're not hoping for change. If you were emotionally attached, begin to what's the word? Detach yourself. Begin to detach yourself. If you had any fear, try and overcome that fear. Like, oh, you know, all those, oh, you can never find somebody better, I may never know, is where you are now, all those kind of crap. It's crap. It's crap. That's just manipulation. Ignore it. All those signs, you see all those signs, you know, watch out for it. Look out for it. Begin to work on yourself. Build up your self-esteem, your self-worth. You know your value. You know, you don't want to go to your grave unhappy. If you speak with some nurses, they'll tell you that a lot of the dying patients, their major regret is not living the life that they want. Not being able to speak their own truth. Is that really what you want? That's not what I want. I want to go coasting along and knowing that, yeah, everything done, dusted. That's why I live every day like it's my last. Yeah. So anyways, on this note, I want to say, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, try and subscribe. We're coming up with more stories and, you know, more interactive sessions. Yeah. Our next topic will be looking at living with a narcissist. Ooh. I hope to see you there.